Hi, baby. How are you, darling? um, I wanted to say I hope everyone's week went well and they're having a good day. Um, well, I don't want to talk about trans issues today. I'm exhausted and, you know, but I do want to touch on something that is in the current affairs and pop culture is talking about this particular subject. And that is the subject of Miss Wendy Williams. Okay? Let me start off by saying back in the 90s, especially in the 90s and early 2000s, Wendy was a revolutionary, highly entertaining, highly problematic force to be reckoned with. I personally had a very bipolar relationship with her. Not personally. I didn't meet her personally. I spoke to her on the phone maybe a couple of times, you know. But I had a really bipolar because I adored her. I adored her brand of gossip. But at the same time, I knew listening to it was wrong because I knew a part of me felt just from a spiritual standpoint. And even though back then I wasn't consciously spiritual, but I was more intuitively spiritual, if that makes sense. I knew listening to her was wrong because I knew that what she was doing was wrong. Just fundamentally, but I was drawn to her like millions and millions and millions of people. You're drawn to that. Just like you're drawn to reality TV, even though I don't watch it. But other people are. But Wendy, you could not stop listening to her. She was addictive. At the time, I was at my dream job and it was very stressful. Being a trans woman, being a stealth trans woman of color at a Fortune 500 company that was huge, a global entity, I guess. It was stressful. I was stressed all the time and I was on edge. I don't think there was ever a time. The only times I probably wasn't on edge is when my bosses weren't around. Like if they were on vacation or if they had a trip somewhere. But I was always on edge. So, two things would calm my spirits and calm my nerves. I would listen to music, specific music. Not the music that you would necessarily think I would be listening to, but I would listen to like a lot of classical music. To calm my nerves, or really intelligent music, very world music I listen to, and I would listen to Wendy Williams. Or I would be at my desk with my coworkers or my coworkers, and we would just talk and have conversations, and that would kind of calm my nerves. But every day I showed up like I couldn't sleep the night before. I don't think I slept a lot in my 20s and 30s. I really don't think I did. You couldn't tell by looking at me, but I don't think I did. But so, Wendy Williams, I would listen to Wendy. Baby, that's all I had to look forward to, really. At work for the most part, because when I was there, and I was dedicated to being there and doing a great job, not only for myself, but for everyone to come after me. Even though most people didn't know, there are certain people that did know about me. And I know that I to this day, a lot of them still tell me, like, you're the first trans person I ever met, and I love you so much. Like, you helped me to see the humanity in trans people. And like, you're like everyone else. There's nothing different about you other than how you identify. But I see you as a woman, and you're so cool and funny and intelligent, and you just are a good, beautiful person, you know. But while I was there, I was scared. I was scared of messing up. I was scared of failing. I was scared of not being able to do something that was asked of me. I was scared of not living up to people's I was scared of not living up to people's expectations. I was scared of being found out on a global scale. You know, the people that knew believe it or not, were a few of my biological female friends who happened to be of color. You know, it was like maybe 3. And to this day, we're still friends. Those are my sisters. And 2 of my gay best friends that I still have today. Like, most of my friends I've known for anywhere from 25 to 30 years, right? Over 30 years. So those are the only ones that knew, and they kept my secrets. I had a beautiful relationship with H&R. A&R. No, I'm having a really crazy day. HR. Human Resources. I said H&R like it's a store. Anyway, so all I had was Wendy Williams. Like, I just wanted to give you some insight into how emotionally how I was dealing. Wendy Williams provided an escape from my immediate circumstances, and then not only an escape, but then she also helped to empower. Like, she was just funny and real, and it helped you to see that, you know, in a lot of your situations, you're not alone, because people are just as flawed and crazy and whatever. So, but I knew fundamentally, just from a spiritual standpoint, that I knew that it was wrong. I knew it was like wrong to listen to someone tearing someone else down. Like, okay? People like to say, oh, you're getting the tea and you're gossiping. No, you're tearing that person's down. And in a lot of instances, she ruined a lot of people's lives. And she cost a lot of people their peace. She made their lives, which were probably already super stressful, even more. She exposed things about people's lives that were really none of our business. Who I sleep with is not my business. Who I sleep with is not your business. Who you sleep with is not my business. As long as it's not a child or an animal, I'm cool. If it's a consenting adult, that is your business. It's your right. As long as you are not harming that person, okay? As long as it's between 2 consenting adults, I'm good. That's your business. People's financial situation, with how much they made, that's your business. What's going on in your marriage, between you and your husband or you and your wife, that is your business. I knew Wendy Williams took gossip to another level. It was different than the Inquirer. It was different than, dear, what was it? Liz, what was her name? Liz from she was like a daily, she was like a gossip. Dear Abby, not Dear Abby, but Liz somebody. I forgot her name. She was like a really legendary figure. in the gossip realm. There has always been, who's that texting me? There's always been gossips, you know. Even back to the Joan Crawford, Betty Davis, what's her name? Helda with the hats. What's her name? Helda from like the golden age of Hollywood. What's her name? Helda? Child, what was her name? Y'all know. Okay, I'm getting old. Okay. But Hedda, I think her name was Hedda. I think her name was Hedda. I forgot her last name. But there's always been gossips, and yes, they've always ruined lives, because I think they was telling Rock Hudson's tea back in the 50s, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, but yes, Wendy comes from that school of entertainment / journalism. What I do respect about Wendy is that she, to a point, understood journalism. I think she went to school. Unlike the people that have these blogs now who are just really dumb as rocks. They're just dumb. And they're using her as a model. But she went to school for what she did. Okay, one thing you can't say about Wendy is that she was a highly intelligent woman, and a very worldly woman, and a very well-read woman. Okay, but her brand of gossip hurt people. It was different than Dear Liz. I think her name was Dear Liz, or whatever her name was, and Hedda, and all these different people, all these, you know, Barbara Walters, and all these iconic. Okay, so I knew, being a queer, trans woman all my life, I knew what it felt like to be gossiped about. To the gays, and to the trans, and to the lesbians, to all of the people that really, really, like, Wendy was y'all's leader. Because, baby, the gays, the trans, the lesbians lived for Wendy. Like, the people that lived for Wendy the most were the LGBT community and the biological black women, or women in general, but mainly black women communities. Okay? For my LGBT people, we know what it's like to be gossiped about and bullied and teased. But ironically, we were drawn to Wendy in a way that, like, not only were we drawn to Wendy, a lot of us participated in the Wendy madness. Okay? Wendy wasn't getting the tea from biological women for the most part, especially when it came down to who's on the down low and who's gay and who's she was getting that from gay boys and trans girls and lesbians. My relationship with Wendy was really, really, like I said, bipolar. But all that to say, I watched / listen to the Breakfast Club interview, and people don't realize she did an interview right after with Don Lemon. Now keep in mind, I don't use the Breakfast Club, nor do I use Don Lemon. I just believe both platforms are toxic, misogynistic, ignorant, low-key transphobic, low-key homophobic. I listen to, well, I'm going to be honest. I never listen. I kind of boycott both platforms. But I made an exception in this particular case because I wanted to see what was going on with Wendy. And after listening to Wendy, now keep in mind, Wendy is somebody that I listen to every day from 2 to 7, I think, or 2 to 6. I forgot what her schedule was. I listened to her religiously every day for years. So I know Wendy. I know her voice. I know her mood. I know her temperament. I know her way of phrase. I knew her phrasing. I know her little idiosyncrasies. And the Wendy that I heard yesterday, who gave that interview with Don Lemon and the Breakfast Club, that woman clearly is not in her right frame of mind. And what's frustrating is in social media, we are amongst a sea of idiots who are emotionally unintelligent, who are academically unintelligent, who are low vibrational, who are speaking like they are damn psychiatrists and therapists and medical professionals and scientists. People who lack basic education are out here diagnosing her. I'm sorry. Wendy clearly has something really serious going on. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, she pulled together a little bit better for that Breakfast Club interview. But baby, if you listen to the Don Lemon interview, it's almost a whole other interview. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She said that like 200 times on both interviews. Something is wrong with her. Now, everybody's out here talking about free Wendy, like they were talking about free Britney. Britney and Wendy's situations are totally different. This is what I'm saying. People today are dumb. We are living amongst a bunch of idiots. Their intelligence lack context and just a scope. And they can't even differentiate between someone who has a breakdown and someone who has mental illness and someone who has dementia. Or anything like that. Okay? What I heard in Wendy was someone that needs... Wendy sounded okay, but then again, she sounded not okay. She needs, as someone that has been around people who have, I wouldn't say it's dementia that she has, but I can't diagnose her. I'm not a doctor. I would say she definitely has some sort of emotional, mental, and spiritual issues. And she might be going through a breakdown, or maybe it is early dementia. Who knows? She needs to be diagnosed. I don't believe she needs to be in somebody's conservatorship. So whenever I hear people say free Wendy, I want them to explain it to me. Okay, I want you to break it down. Because if you mean free Wendy, that she's okay and normal and should be left to her own devices and out in these streets. No, she clearly does not sound like she needs to be. She clearly needs someone's help. Whether she needs to be institutionalized in a supervised medical setting, not a conservatorship. But she shouldn't be in somebody's conservatorship. She should not be in that place. These things should not be determined by a judge. She clearly needs help. So for all you dummies that are out here saying Wendy sounds like the old Wendy, no the fuck she does not. The fact that she's repeating herself, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That speaks to something really serious going on underneath that. Whether it's a breakdown, whether it's some sort of form of mental illness that she is suffering from and not getting help for, or maybe it is on, early onset dementia. We don't know. We're not doctors. And most of y'all that are speaking about it don't even understand mental illness or don't even know people. I know people that have been mentally ill ever since I was a kid. I know what that's like. I know what it sounds like. I know what it looks like. Okay? I don't make fun of it. I don't make fun of it. I can identify it and so at the end of the day, I don't make fun of it. Does she sound like she's normal? No. Does she sound like old Wendy? No. Does she sound like she needs to be back on a daily grind of having a talk show? No. All of y'all just want her to come back because y'all have this insatiable, sick appetite for gossip and ruining people's lives. You want to hear her drag people. You want to hear her. Mainly, all y'all want to do, really, y'all don't want to hear her drag people. And this is why the LGBT community is so sick to me in a lot of ways. Sick in the sense that we have unresolved trauma. But y'all want her to out people. Y'all want her to expose. People have this sick fascination with outing people, with exposing people's gay and trans and lesbian secrets. It's sickening to me, and it's sick, and it's perverse. Y'all want to hear, and I can only guess. What I really feel about it is that the reason why y'all want to hear about everybody else's homosexuality and transgenderism and adultery and pedophilia is because that's what y'all are doing. That's what y'all living through. Either you're actively doing it or doing it on a down low and breaking laws or whatever that you're doing, or it's been done to you. And so you have a need to feel like, oh, you're not alone because other people are doing it. That's why you have this sick need to hear about other people's personal lives and heartbreaks, especially the most taboo things in this population. Do I believe that Wendy should be at a conservatorship? No. She needs to be in a hospital. And the fact that all of you dummies are out here thinking that you sound smart, y'all just, and to me, and what's even more disappointing is that these are people that at some point, there are a lot of people that I've had a lot of respect for and held in high regard and thought were intelligent people. It's disappointing to see all these people that claim to be intelligent, that have all these opinions on everything else, to be so dumb and emotionally not intelligent. The Wendy Williams that I heard on both interviews sound sick. Sound like she's holding on. And she tried her best during both interviews to keep it together. And for the most part, she kept it together. But you can see the cracks were showing. You can hear it. Yes, her family sounds really desperate to get her out. Yes, Wendy and her family seems desperate to get her out of this conservatorship. For whatever reason. She says she only has $15 that they're giving her. And I guess her family, they might be, I don't know. I don't know if it's a money thing, allegedly, for her family. I don't know. All I know is that the Wendy Williams that I heard yesterday sounds sick. Sounds like she's suffering from some sort of emotional and mental issues. I don't know what those are. Only she knows. Wendy has a lot of trauma, like a lot of us. When you have stuffed that trauma in your temple called the body, and you keep stuffing all that trauma and then putting all the stress and anxiety and hurt and depression on top of that, and you do that for a number of years, it's like a garbage can. Once you keep starving and putting garbage into that can, eventually it's going to overspill, and then it's going to burst over. And you don't know where the chips are going to fall. You don't know where the cans are going to fall. You don't know where the garbage is going to fall. Wendy needs help. I am leery of the world that we live in, because you have a world of opinionated, judgmental, hypocritical people who are very low IQ, who feel self-righteous, who feel... Baby, when I tell you, I don't like it here. I don't like it here. This world is different than the world. The world that I grew up in had intelligent, emotionally intelligent, but just common sense and intelligent people. People with common sense, emotional intelligence, and they were intelligent. They were intellectuals. I grew up in that world. Social media has made us, everyone dumb. Has made us all dumb, which is why I'm going to take a break. I may upload a video here and there, but in terms of my other social media, no. I'm going to get my information from where I need to get my information from, but it won't be social media. I'm not going to get it from the news, because these people are all compromised. These networks, okay? The news, the media at large, the media apparatus at large is compromised. Everything in this country is owned by the rich. Well, it's always been. But everything in this country is owned by conservative, Republican men and women that want to hold on to power. And how they hold on to power is by keeping you dumb. It's why they're trying to do away with education, the Department of Education. It's why they're trying to control media. See, what happened in Trump's last presidency is that we had media, certain media outlets that are all compromised now, like CNN and MSNBC, and independent people on TikTok that weren't funded by the oligarchs of this country or the rich or these media apparatuses or any political party. These are people that understood these laws that were being passed or bills that were being presented or things that were being done, actions that were being done, and they broke it down to their fan base. They were the truth tellers, the real truth tellers of our nation. Now, these people are going to be silenced so that the corruption that we saw and that was exposed during his last administration, oh no, they're trying to keep that, they're trying to keep everything that he does under wraps so that you don't know. So, baby, y'all better buckle up. 'Cause come Tuesday, it's going to be a whole other thing. Okay? He's talking about going after his political rivals, which includes the media. Do you think, look at how all these left progressive people like Cenk and Anna from the Young Turks and Mika and what's his face from MSNBC, they all went to meet with him, and they're trying to reach over to like the right because they don't want him to come after them. They don't want Trump to come after them. So all these people are grifting to the right now because it's about money. It's about that almighty dollar. It's not about truth. It's not about justice. It's about money. And you all have given the richest of the rich power to rule. You have given the richest of the rich, the 1%, all the rights in this Constitution and in this government to govern over you. You've given them every branch of power. The executive, the judicial, and Congress. You've given them power. So what they've started to do is dismantle all of your rights. Y'all are gonna gag. If I know that you voted for Trump, I don't want no parts to do with you. I've already erased people out of my life that were Republicans. You can't come over here. If you try to harm me and steal from me, you will be dealt with accordingly. That's what the law is for. That's what the law enforcement is for. You have amendments to protect yourself, but don't come over here. Because if you voted for Trump, or you didn't vote, but if you voted for Trump, and you think that you're going to come out here and, it's free season, it's free range, let's just start attacking all the people that we don't like. It's going to get bad. They're already attacking trans people. They're already attacking LGBT people. They're already attacking women. They're already attacking migrants. Okay? The government is going to hide their crimes, and they're going to incite all of these social unrest, all the social unrest and all the fighting between all of the minorities. That's how you keep everyone distracted from what's going on at the top. Have them all fight at the bottom. Have the gays fight the trans. Have the straights fight the LGBTs. Have the straights fight the migrants. Have the women fight the men. Have all these different people fight each other. The Muslims fight this people. The Jews fight this people. Y'all are dumb. Y'all have not, this is why I say to my dolls, protect yourself. Get you a permit to carry. Always, if you need within your state, find the things that you are allowed to carry for protection. Because you're going to always, I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to get off of here. Trans people in this country are going to always be the scapegoats. They're going to always be the default scapegoat. Okay? Whenever we get close to finding out the corruption at the top, you know what the top is going to do? Oh, the trans girls are in the locker rooms. The trans girls are playing soccer. The trans girls are winning on the cover of Sports Illustrated. They're going to always come back to the trans girls, the migrants, and even the blacks. You know why? Well, not even the blacks, because they don't do that with the blacks. Because they've gotten the black people in this country so brainwashed that it's sad. It's sad. We've been down this road of oppression before. We should know better. But they're going to always use the trans and LGBT community. They're going to always use the migrants because we're the boogeymen that have gotten them elected. We're the boogeymen that has helped them line their pockets. They have systematically and spiritually RAPED'd us. They don't give back to our communities. They've been able to monetize off of us. We're going to always be the scapegoats in this country because they see that it works. They see that it gets viewers. They see that it wins elections. They're going to always talk about the trans women. And I'm going to do another video soon about a lot of y'all. I'm sorry. Because I come from a different generation of trans where you wanted to look like a woman. You wanted to look like a man. You wasn't trying to go inside no woman's bathroom looking like Holiday Heart. Okay, or Miss Doubtfire. You wasn't. And y'all are part of the reason they're using you to hurt us. And I'm sick of it. You motherfucking selfish bastards. You fucking dumb, clueless bastards. It's these type of people in our community they're using you to hurt us all. Let me tell you something. And I may be wrong, forgive me, but fuck that and fuck you. I've never, ever, what you're doing is RAPEDing us as also. You're doing the same thing that they're doing. Because I sit back and I watch y'all. I watch y'all without a hormone in your body go in and out of women's spaces. And you think you're entitled to it. And you're not. I'm sorry. You can unsubscribe. I don't give a damn. You are not entitled to that. We had to put in work. We fought not only for ourselves, but for you to have the right to live your life comfortably. But there were rules. There was this unspoken thing that I knew that I wasn't trying to go into no woman's restroom until I looked like a woman. Until I had the posture of one. Y'all can talk about, a woman doesn't have one particular type. No, but we all know when we see it. Catch that tea. We know when we see it, and we know when we don't see it. When I was younger, I wanted to transition to be a woman, and I was hard on myself, okay? I was hard on myself until I at least could walk inside any space. I can walk through any mall. I can walk in and out of any store, any restaurant, and not get clocked. Now we're moving into that time again. And you all made it worse for the rest of us. We helped you get your rights. We sat and we stood with y'all. And y'all showed your fucking asses. So much so that they have used all of your fucking foolery against us all. And I'm angry. I have been holding this in for years now. And I've been trying to be supportive of the whole community. No more. Y'all can co-sign this bullshit. I'm not. I'm not. Because I see both sides of it. All types of people should have freedoms. But you should have freedoms to the right to education, to employment, to housing, to healthcare. But you don't have the right to infringe upon other people's spaces and redefine it. Y'all have redefined what it means to be trans so that you can sit and it can, and so you have redefined it so that you have redefined it so that it fits you and fits your lifestyle. A lot of you are sitting and saying, I can't transition to that high level of an Amaya Scott or a Carmen or any of the dolls that are considered fishy or unclockable or unspookable or the really passable girls. A lot of you from even before you decide to transition have already made up your mind that you can't even achieve that level of transition. And so what you do, you don't even try. You don't try. You try to redefine it for something that you kind of go, you can't redefine something that's already been established. I'm sorry. You can make your own lane. You can make your own space. We live within the binary. You don't want to be in the binary. Fine. I will fight for you to not live in the binary. But you can't force a non-binary situation into a binary one and expect it to be harmonious. I'm sorry if I'm hurting anybody's feelings, but I'm telling you the truth. What y'all have done has made it hard for us. And see, if they take away our health care and our rights to hormones, y'all keep saying, oh, the hormones, oh, that, I don't take hormones. I don't take hormones. I don't have to take hormones to be a woman. Okay? See, y'all can go back to being whatever you were before you considered yourself to be trans. You know who's going to be affected? Us. Those of us that were born trans. Those of us that needed the medicine because it offsetted our genetic dysphoria. Our medical issues. That's like stopping a diabetic from getting insulin. You know who's going to be harmed? Us. Y'all going to go back to being boys. Okay? Y'all gonna go back to being boys. And y'all gonna sit and laugh and watch us unalive off. And then y'all gonna still cross-dress and think y'all the done-data to try to get some boys. And that's all this was about. This wasn't about having a man for me. For all of my dolls. It wasn't about us having a man. It was about us being healthy in our bodies. And we needed that medicine. You know what? But that's another video. That's another video. I'm going to start ending by this. Wendy needs help. I love Wendy. I have a very bipolar. I love Wendy. But I have a very bipolar relationship with her. She brought great joy. But she also brought great guilt. Do I believe that she sounded normal? No, and I believe most of y'all are dumb. Anyone that's saying that she sounds normal and she sounds like, oh, Wendy is an idiot. The fact that she was on the Breakfast Club with a platform full of idiots. Charlamagne's an idiot. Envy is an idiot. They're a bunch of, like, morally just hilarious and idiot. They're a bunch of morally corrupt idiots that are morally bankrupt and intellectually challenged. The fact that she went on there and everybody's saying that she sounds like, oh, Wendy, and she's this. No, it's one thing to try to, like, you know, offer a kind word to your friend and give them encouragement. But no, Wendy needs help. Don't try to break her out of the conservatorship. But get her into a hospital. Have her diagnosed so whatever is going on with her, she can be treated so that she can get better. That's the purpose of this video. She's not going to get better by y'all lying to her saying that she's not. She's okay. You lying to her but telling her she's okay and she's oh Wendy when she's not and she's clearly disabled is beyond problematic to me and irresponsible. But see, it doesn't surprise me because y'all don't even understand that every time you misgender a trans or actual trans person or the harm that y'all trying to do onto trans people, it speaks. Y'all don't care about anybody's health but your own. Y'all don't even care about your own kids' health or your own parents' health, your elderly grandparents' health. Y'all are dumb. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't take the time to research, to educate yourselves. Y'all dumb. Y'all dumb. Okay? God bless Wendy. I've had great conversations with her. We kikied. I know how Wendy gets down. She's a key. Wendy is a kiki and she's a beautiful spirit. I just wish that I don't know. I love Wendy though. Like, I love her. I'll have a love-hate relationship with her, but I've spoken to Wendy many times and she is a key. She is funny. She is just charming as all get out. She's intelligent. She's a beautiful person. She just has this thing. This little tick. The way all of us have a little tick, a little thing that makes us uniquely crazy. Okay? And I'm drawn to people like that, but no. Wendy, I love you, my sister, my big sister. Get well. I'm sending you nothing but positive energy, my beautiful sister. Get well. I know she's not going to watch this, or she's not going to come across this, but she does. She knows, well, she doesn't. If I ever bump into her again, she'll recognize me. But my sister, I love you. Get well. Get the help that you need. Surround yourself with people that love you, that's not going to try to take from you. You at this point in your life, you deserve to relax and do whatever you want to do and rest somewhere around people that love you and not people that are going to try to take money from you and exploit you. Okay? What Don Lemon's interview to me was very, it was such an exploitation of her in her situation, but that's another story. I have a Don and his transphobic tail. I'm good. But anyway, to everybody, I hope y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other, love each other, support each other, and protect yourself. And beware. Okay? God bless you.